I'm Luke, I'm from Ocean Grove, and you're watching Rsptv.
So it's your first time in Sweden, and as well your proper tour in Europe.
Yeah.
And how does it feel to, first of all, be overall in Europe and here tonight for your first show?
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, in terms of being able to travel and see new places, it's an awesome experience, and to be able to play in places that we haven't been before, and also see that our music and our debut record has been able to travel that far, that we can come to places like last night in Denmark and see so many people that have bought the record and know it so well, even in their second language, has been an awesome thing. And I think it just shows you how kind of important the internet is in spreading the word about young bands. You know, being from Australia, you're quite removed from the rest of the world, and it's been awesome as an experience as a person and as a musician. It's been awesome too, and the bands that we're touring with are also quite experienced, so we're able to learn from them each night as well.
And since this is in the middle of the tour,
yeah, I think so.
What's been the best experience so far when dealing with new fans and new places?
I think I guess there's so many parts about touring that are enjoyable, and there's so many parts about it that are different. I think probably my favourite show has been probably Belgium, because the venues and the people that are working at venues in Europe, they have so much care and they take so much pride in what they do, and the lighting has been awesome, and coming to places that people are making an effort to come and speak to you in English and learning your songs has been awesome. I think it was also really cool to go to Scotland, just because I think it's a cool place. And another thing about Europe that I think is really fascinating to Australians is the fact that Australia's only been around for 250 years.
Really?
Yeah, since it's obviously been around for a long time, but in terms of when it was founded, or it was a specific date when Australia as a nation was, founded by the Commonwealth or whatever. So to be able to come to a place and there be a church down the road that was Gothic, built in the 1250 or something like that, that's also something that really blows our mind, because it's something that's not really conceivable as an Australian, buildings being that old and that much history and architecture. And so I think touring is it's awesome to be able to have music as a passport to take you all over the world, to meet people and see different places and try different foods and indulge in different cultures and stuff. So but also the music, obviously part of it's pretty important too.
So being that you are from Australia, which has given us a few very big names in the industry, did you ever think you would end up on the other side of the world when you first started out?
No.
What's the biggest difference music-wise and industry-wise for you as coming from Australia? Totally,
and I think that's true, because Australia is a pretty small place in terms of how many people there are, but it seems like there's a lot of bands coming out of there and making a splash. And I think by each band, like a Parkway Drive doing well, they've allowed to bring out North Lane, and Amity Affliction doing well, they've been able to bring out In Heart's Wake or something like that. And I think all that's happening is, with this tour, North Lane have had people bring them out and show them around, and people show the way, like Parkway Drive. And North Lane are kind of paying that forward to us by bringing us out and showing us the world. So I think when Australian music does well, I think everyone in Australia benefits from it. And I think that Australia just has great bands that come out of it. I'm not sure why. I couldn't tell you why, but it just seems like there's a lot of great stuff coming out of Australia, and I guess all over the world, and music is just constantly progressing. But yeah, I think it's important that Australian bands are getting the spotlight, because they allow the rest of us, the smaller bands that maybe wouldn't have the chance to go and see the world and travel and create a fan base all over the world, we're being allowed to by them doing so well.
Because it seems like you have a really tight-knit industry, or like a community overall, based from like a small band who's played in front of nobody, so all of a sudden gets to go to Europe, playing for packed venues. Totally. I think there is also a sense of hard work, and being from Australia, you do have to work hard to make your dreams come true, because when you're in England or in Europe or something, you can drive 2 hours or 4 hours from one show to the next, but if you're in Australia, you have to drive 12 hours to get to the next show. So as much as it there's not a lot of bands, and a lot of bands seem to do well, and they're able to project themselves because there's not many people in the field within the industry, and it's maybe less competitive. You also have to start by putting in that hard work from the beginning, and I think that we've done that. We've toured the country and done these ridiculous drives, and that's just set us up to be able to do this tour. But I mean, this is our first proper European tour that we've done, and we've been a band we've been touring for about 4 years, and we've been playing together since we were kids. So this isn't something that's just happened overnight. We've worked hard, and this is something that we've said we wanted to do, and it's almost like a decade on that we're here now actually doing it. But it's the fact that we stuck at it that it's been able to come true. So when it comes to your music, I was really quite surprised with how diverse and unique in a way it is from pretty much anything I've heard in a while. And definitely from Australia as well. And how would you say it? Your whole concept of creating with music videos and everything else as well.
It's a bit outside the box, isn't it?
How would you say over the years that you've been playing together, you have evolved your sound into where it is today, from like the early EPs to this new
totally. I think with any band, especially younger bands, you have that time of finding your sound and experimenting, and I think we're also pretty young, so we're also finding new influences in ourselves, and everyone has a different taste that they bring to the table. And I think a part of being a band is slowly finding your way and finding what the sound is that you want to play, or just the exploration of your own musicianship and your own talent, and just constant progression. I think that's just for us. We've started off, and the first EP we put out, some of those songs we'd written when we were 16 or something like that, and as we've grown as people, our taste and our abilities have matured, and I think now the last record was just at the point that we feel is a good representation of who we are and what we're about, and a part of that is pulling all different influences and things we like to the table, not just heavy music, but from all spectrums, whether it's rock or pop or dance music or kind of EDM stuff. We just wanted to be limitless. We didn't want to put ourselves in the category of being a metal band or new metal or rock or anything like that. We just wanted to put out a record that was well rounded, because I think most people, even if you identify as a heavy music or an alternative music fan, you still have different albums that you enjoy and different types of music that you really enjoy, and I think everyone's like that, so it didn't make sense to us to put out a record that was just the one thing, and that's all that it is. We're just trying to be experimental with it, and do something a bit different.
How would you say, what's the most surprising for a fan to know about your taste in music over the years that you've put into this record and your music overall?
Yeah, I think what's surprising is that a lot of our members have been DJs and played electronic music, and I think you can tell from the record that there's a lot of electronic. We've got a studio member who does a lot of production.
He did something with Will Sparks, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So yeah, and he's been in the band. He played guitar with us, and his own project has gone massive, and but he's still as much a part of the band besides touring. So I think that is an interesting fact. And I don't know, I think we all like musicals in a way. I think we all appreciate kind of soundtracks and musicals and more that like theatrical part of music as well, which maybe you can pick that up in the record, maybe you can't, but I think we all really enjoy like big choruses, big kind of like, I love ABBA, and I love movie soundtrack, Mulan, like Disney soundtracks, and I don't think you can hear that in the record, but I think that's something.
No, not really. Maybe
no. But I think that's definitely something that we all enjoy, which might be surprising.
So when this tour is over, there's like pretty much nothing left of this year.
Yeah.
Is there anything for next year you would like to do that you haven't done so far, and anything that fans could expect?
Yeah.
Because I know you have some festival dates.
Yeah. So we've got I don't know when this video is going to come out.
Whenever I edit it.
Whenever you get it done.
Somewhere.
Well, we're definitely we're touring Canada and the US in January, which we haven't done before. It's like this tour. It's new and it's long, and so we're going to be in Canada and the US for the first time. And then we come back to Australia for Download Festival. It's the first one, and it's in Melbourne. It's got Limp Bizkit and Korn and Prophets of Rage and Mastodon and us. And we're doing a tour with a band that's playing on that. We're doing a couple more shows with them, touring the rest of the country while they're over in Australia. We've got some other stuff that just hasn't really been planned enough for me to say, but we're going to be seeing different parts of the world. That's not Australia, that's not the US, and that's not Europe. We're going to some other places, which is really awesome, because they're, once again, the music is fun to do, but there's also a part of traveling and seeing the world that we also really want to get out of this experience of being in a band. So yeah, there's lots, and also we're always working on new music. That's something we're always doing. Someone will be doing something. So hopefully next year we can put out more new music, and see how we go with that.
Cool. Anything you would like to add to the interview?
Just that we've got a couple more dates. I've got them here now. We're coming back to Germany, Italy, Switzerland, France, Austria, and if you can make it out to a show, we're playing a lot of our debut record, the Rsptv tapes, which is out on Spotify and pretty much wherever you can buy a CD. And if you want to catch it live, that's where you can find us.